welcome to Mind Your Business. I am so happy. I know I'm always excited. It is good to be back, and today I get to interview a super fabulous woman. I know her from Mandela Washington Fellowship. Let me tell you who I'm talking about. Actually, before I tell you who I'm talking about, come closer. She cooked for CEO of Twitter. I mean, she's cooked for a lot of people, but oh my God, Twitter CEO. I am so happy to introduce to you Gyebi, or Joyce Abrefi Gyebi, but we call her J. Have you heard of Mukase Chick? Have you tasted her wachi, East Legon, and they recently opened another branch in Laboni? Well, Jay is a culinary professional who is passionate about African cuisine, its documentation and preservation. Her popular culinary company, I did say culinary, Mukase Chick boasts of a food service business, cooking masterclasses, and an online extension that segues into culinary content, meal preparation tips, and capturing the stories of popular meals from Ghana and beyond. Joyce also works as a food consultant for most of Ghana's food production companies and even global agencies on recipe curation, production, and sampling activation. Her hard work earned her an endorsement by both CNN, the CNN, and BuzzFeed for her authentic food stories, and especially her partnership video with the globally renowned food blogger Mark Waynes, which garnered over 8 million views, dear Lord, and etched her name in among the culinary greats globally. Yeah, and why not? With a background in TV production, marketing, and theater, she also leads a food events company which annually deploys Africa's most exciting culinary event. Guess the name? The Jollof Festival, of course. She also does the Food Business Seminar and Eat Accra Food Festival. She holds a combined major in fine arts from the University of Ghana and is also an esteemed member of the Mandela Washington community. So that's actually how I know her, and I've been following her progress on social media, and she's doing so well. I am so excited, ladies and gentlemen. Get your kappa. See my mark from IFAB 2022. Yeah, get it, or get your mark of kappa, whatever it is. And let's enjoy this conversation with Jay.
Fab Hub Ashanti, a haven nestled at the tip of Kumasi, where fresh air meets serenity. Fab Hub Ashanti is a residential learning and event space perfect for your corporate training, staff retreat, group hangouts, and wedding receptions. With 4 rooms and 15 beds, you and your group can sleep comfortably. What makes us special? Fab Hub Ashanti is not just a space, it's a commitment. By choosing us, you support community projects empowering women and youth. Join us at Fab Hub Ashanti off Aful Junction, Abuabukesi, Kumasi. Fab Hub Ashanti, here we grow. Hi, I am Ahmed Duncan, founder of the Fabulous Woman Network. Before 2015, I was that broke girl who was stuck in her own limiting belief of not enoughness. Marianne Williamson's words, "You are a child of God," woke me up. And then I sought help to work on myself. I still invest heavily in my personal development, and so much has changed for me in the most incredible ways. My burning desire is to see an Africa in which women are empowered to thrive and impact people. I am a trainer, coach, author, social entrepreneur, and an event organizer who is passionate about helping others on their own personal development journey so that together we can all thrive as fabulous children of God. Mind Your Business is our weekly podcast which is free on YouTube. Here we share enriching content to help us all thrive as fabulous children of God. And if you prefer to work with me one-on-one, please go to my website, amaduncan.com @Culinary.com/store to book a discovery call with.
So, Jay, before we get into this, thank you so much for making time. And I love the woman in the background. I think she has a nice hot booty. And, I just wanted to say that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I do have a couple like sprinkled in my house. I have a lot of like female scented artworks and photographs all over. Yeah.
That's good inspiration to keep you healthy and all that. So that's good. Well done. Well, first of all, congratulations also on your recent Laboni branch. I mean, I have to tell the story about how we drove all the way from Kumasi. I promised the kids, my son doesn't really like wachi, but I promised my daughter that we are going to eat mukasi wachi. I made so much noise. Before then, it was finished. I wanted to cry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Next time you come to Accra, tell me.
But I'm curious to know a bit more about you. I mean, I was on the Mandela Washington Fellowship with you a few years ago, and it was fantastic. I got to see a side of you, but I'm interested in you from your childhood and all that. I mean, you've done a lot of amazing things. Cooking for the Twitter CEO. I mean, I don't even know how that happened. But before we get there, let's talk about your childhood. Have you, I also love food. I love food a lot, but I'm not, I can't be trusted with cooking, but I can be trusted with the eating part. But how did it start for you as a child?
So interestingly, if you ask anyone in my family if I would be the one cooking, you get the answer that no, because I'm also not, or I wasn't that child who was interested in cooking growing up. I think 3 days ago, I met an auntie of mine. She was like, "Hey, Ajwa, are you cooking?" Like nobody in my family knew that it would turn out this way. But then again, I grew up in a family where my parents were very good cook. My father especially, because I grew up with my dad. So my father was a really, really good cook, and he was like very adventurous. With my stepmom, who was also an amazing cook as well, and they were well traveled. So we were exposed to a lot of food from different countries at a very young age, eating things we didn't know what it was, but, just being interested. Also, my stepmom was, because she also loved cooking, even taking food to school, we never bought food from outside. Like, I didn't have that exposure of I didn't go to the markets as well. So I didn't know a lot about local food. It was like I only knew what we ate at home, and even if we went outside, to be very honest, I grew up on my brother always says that we on my birthday, on our birthdays, we wouldn't have birthdays. I never had a birthday party, but we will have one of my dad's chefs who worked in the Chinese place come in and just cook. It was very normal. There was nothing. Yeah, it was when I went to secondary school that I realized that, the food you've been eating in your house is really different. I think I was telling this to someone yesterday. I didn't even know that you put stew on pasta. Because in my house, they would put the whole pasta in the pot of stew.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then eat balls. So I knew about those other things. We had that side of our family that was into roast and steak and all those things. And then we had really good no. But we also had really good local food. My stepmom and my dad, they don't play about local food. So we eat a lot of really good local food. At the same time, there was this balance of eating food from wherever they traveled. So I wasn't the playing with Conco child trying to learn how to cook. No, I hated the activity, to be very honest with you. I really hated. The only time I enjoyed cooking was when my dad and I would have conversations. So fetch the salt or taste the thing. And we had such an awkward relationship, but the only time we would really have a conversation was when he was cooking and he would ask me some kind of questions. But the whole activity around it, it's not just me. But it's also very interesting how that same childhood led me to being to have interest about food. because then when I grew up to stay on my own, I now wanted to know the reason why, first of all, I didn't know some of the things I knew, and also understand like all the food I was seeing on the streets and stuff, what it meant, and how it tasted like, and if I could make them on my own since I was living alone. So that same, someone would say, not the dream-like childhood of being a foodie or being a culinary entrepreneur, also kind of fueled my interest in food, because now that I was outside, I was like, oh, I'm free to drink asana. Now that I drink asana, like I want to know what's inside.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a little bit about my background and food. Yeah.
That's so interesting. The rest of us, well, when I say the rest of us, I mean me, we just eat. we just, like, we don't, and it's really, you are one of the people who really got me questioning. I remember one post a long time ago about you called it air pies. I don't know whether it's called pie, but the fun ice pie thing. And then you did a story about it, and like, but this thing, we all buy it. Nobody cares. No, but it's amazing how you are so passionate. You go dig and find out. The rest of us, we are just eating. We don't care what we are putting in our bodies. We are just eating. So I just want you to know that we appreciate people like you. What you're doing, telling stories. I remember I also saw a story about you on Reuters some years ago. I'm like, I was screaming. And something that we take for granted, but you go beyond just, oh yeah, it's there. You go beyond, and you're doing so amazing with the Jollof project and all these things that you do. Let's talk about how you ended up cooking for the Twitter CEO. Which one was this? Which CEO was this?
I think it was Jack. It was Jack Dorsey, just before, they finally moved into Ghana, and before Elon bought.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know whether it was his last trip or one of those trips that he came to Ghana. Yes. So I got on the project. It was supposed to be 3 chefs. That was myself, Chef Benta, and Chef Kwame Ampofo of Beachville. So 3 of us were supposed to come up with a menu. We didn't even know who we were cooking for, to be very honest. We had been contacted, and we had just been told, oh, you guys have been chosen to do this dinner, and you have to bring a bit of a personality and blah 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 and whatever you are into this. And then I think at the last minute, one of the chefs, that was Binta, who was not in the country at the time, her flight was on that day, couldn't make it, so it was just Kwame and myself. And yeah, we were asked to create a menu based on her personality. I like to work with a lot of local ingredients, so I think that I had a 3-course or 2-course if I remember, and then Kwame also had a 2-course or so. So I did. I think I did that. There was a salad that I did with wagashi. That was my wagashi salad. And then the last, I did 3. I don't remember the second one, but then the last one was also a dessert that I do with atadri milk and polo. So those are the 2 ones that I remember. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, that's what I did for them. I unfortunately, I didn't even, the only time that I was there, and then they called me that he wanted to see me, so I came out, and we spoke. He told me my favorite was this and that. We spoke about it. He had mentioned that he had seen a video that I did on YouTube as well, and then I thanked him, and we took a picture, and yeah, that was it.
You make it sound like it's not a big deal. We are talking about the CEO of Twitter, woman. That's a huge deal. Oh my God, that's amazing. I didn't even know that fact. I don't know, maybe you didn't make noise or you probably made noise.
Yes, I didn't. I think the only time I tweeted about it was when he was coming to Ghana, and there was this conversation on Twitter why he came to Ghana and not Nigeria. And I just posted that he liked the jollof so much he came back. That was when everybody was like, what? That was it. And everybody just retweeted and made noise about it. But I never really.
Well done. I think that's impressive. And you've been featured on CNN, and I mean, the list goes on and on. So, I feel really good. I'm also interviewing you, so I also feel good.
Oh, I'm very inspired by your work and who you are as a person.
Oh, thank you. But I think what you're doing is amazing already, even telling the stories and figuring out what goes into it and shining the light on our local foods that, you know how we are. We think when we go and buy the pizzas and all that's when we are showing off, but we really have something good and even healthier, So thank you. Now let's talk about culinary for social change. This one, I have to drink tea before I say it. Culinary
Yeah,
for
no
social
worries, fine. You can call it CSC. I also have that sometimes. So yeah, I
Yes.
call it CSC, which
Mm,
is a short form of that. Yeah.
okay.
Um. So what do you want to know about it
Yes,
before
the
I ramble?
project, because I know I mean, it's not just about food, but you're using it to help others. So can you tell us what it is about?
Yeah, so as you've already mentioned, over the years, I've spent a lot of my career, learning about our ingredients, our food, and most importantly, the people that play a big role in the preservation and documentation of our food, which is, from street food vendors to the big mamas, the market women, the market queens, the farmers, the stakeholders, even in parliament, all those people come together to make that pipeline possible. And I've also had opportunity to obviously meet people, learn from them. I've had opportunities to be able to travel outside the country and also have like a pool of resource people that or resource that I've always had access to. So even though I've been working with people, I've been working with market people, street food vendors, our Instagram food vendors and restaurateurs and all these entrepreneurs. I've always done this, but I've not done it in a form that we can put a name to. So I've always done that, but last year I decided to finally make it a project that I can concentrate on and also kind of be able to evaluate and measure what the impact is. That's how I came on with Culinary for Social Change, which is CSC. It's a very simple but impactful project, I believe. We are creating an opportunity for every time I say this, like when I get to the women, I'm like, are we going to add men? I'm sorry. Every time I have that thing in my head. But we are literally creating an opportunity for underprivileged and unskilled women to have access to our resources, our skills, and culinary training in general, for them to be able to create opportunities for them, their families, and their communities. These are in different forms, which is obviously on-site training, training when it comes to finances, social media. A lot of people have phones now, but they only use it for Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So, a lot of financial training, a lot of social media training, and also just, like I said, culinary skills. We are also very interested in helping them to secure jobs in restaurants and hotels. So what we've done is we are gradually creating a partnership with restaurants and hotels. Every culinary entrepreneur will tell you one of the most difficult things is hiring when it comes to the industry, because we don't have a high skill level of people. And it's, even though it used to be that everybody goes into food because they finished school and they couldn't find their dream job. So it's like, let me just use this as an interim whilst I find what I want to do. And then they realize that, oh, okay, maybe we could make a little money and they stay. So it's not really like passion from the beginning or interest. It's just, let's find something. So usually you don't have the right set of skilled people when it comes to hiring waiters, cooks, chefs. Even chefs, it's not always I'm so interested in. It's always maybe I work at a big name place, so I'm gonna stay there for a while and see what happens. So there's that problem across board, and we are saying that this woman that we're going to train will be able to fill some of the gaps, and we are hoping that once they fill the gaps from the lowest of the positions, they will be able to rise up to fill in good spaces in these opportunities. So basically, that's what Culinary for Social Skills is about.
That's such a good idea. And I want to ask how, what you're doing already, like what kinds of trainings you've had and how people have, I mean, how people can be part. But before then, I want to ask this question about women, because I also get it.
Yeah.
What made you choose women or start with women?
Okay. Okay. Um, So first of all, statistically, there are a lot of more men in our culinary industry than women. The reason being, and I had this conversation with a bunch of men yesterday. So the reason being that before they hire any woman, between hiring a man and a woman, they would say, okay, so you have the same capabilities, but then when it comes to, let's say, your period times, or you have to get pregnant and you ask for like leave and blah 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 blah, they're going to measure all that like against the man, even if you are qualified. And for my personal motto is that I don't do things based on gender, whether man or woman. I do things based on your qualification, like an experience. So if you're able to, if you will do the work, it's fine. Whether you're a man or a woman, if you do the work, it's fine. However, it's also a general perception that women have to do more to, I won't use the word stand up, but they have to do more to brace up to where men are when it comes to employment opportunities. Also because a lot of women are expected to cook in Africa. So it's like when you're cooking, it's really nothing, like it's nothing. You're expected to cook. So if you have a business where you are selling banku, it's not, it's not new, it's nothing. But I really also want to show people that the food industry is not just about cooking banku. There's so many amazing opportunities outside there. I want these women to be able to know that you can be cooking banku and meet, for example, the CEO of Twitter, or meet a 5-star Michelin chef, or meet the vice president. It's not just about cooking in the corner of your house. I want to be able to share my resources and my skills. And it's my dream that one day one of these women are invited to a culinary school in Switzerland or Germany or wherever it is, to go and like just have a feel of that opportunity to come back to Ghana and run their own businesses and affect their communities. Even though a lot of people think when it comes to food, a lot of women work in food, but if you really look at the stats, more men are employed when it comes to the opportunities in the food industry. And it is not a race. I'm not in a race to like, match up the percentages, but I'm saying that me being a woman and being raised by a community of resilient women, it's also that's the easiest thing for me to do, to give back to the kind of people who raise me and the kind of people that I work with in my business. I work with men also. I work with men in my food business as well. But I think that if women are more equipped, we will not be able to do all the jobs in different industries. Like we will not be able to be, some jobs women can do and it's obvious. But the ones that we can do, we need to be good at it. And basically that's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fantastic. And so currently Mukasi Chick, you have Laboni, East Legon, these two.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, we currently have Laboni, East Legon for the night watching. And then we also run our catering service at the side.
Yes, and one day, remember one of the years I wanted you to cater for us, but I think
yes.
What happened?
Yeah, we couldn't. Yeah, something had happened.
Actually, I was going to say one day, and I just remembered you are coming to IFAB, so that one day.
Yes, I am.
But before I am. IFAB, what the name Mukasi Chick? How did that come up?
Oh, have I ever said the story? I probably have not. So, first of all, I say this all the time, and my friends say, "Oh, come on, that's it." I think I have I'm good with names. In my mind, I think I'm very good with names. That's what I think. And my very first business was called She Brews, and I wanted to open a coffee shop. So She Brews meant she, like a lady who brews coffee.
Yeah,
that's what that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like people would go to the coffee shop and be asking for banku and things, and then everything just went like, we just changed the whole. So yeah, people, and then that's how we started introducing Abum as a restaurant meal, because I was at the cafe and then I just had to switch. So I wanted to I'd already started a blog. And I wanted to start a blog. I was working in marketing at that time. One of my clients were building strategies for one of my food clients. I think it was Maggie at that time. And I had come across Fran. So Fran is a white lady who is married to a Ghanaian and is best friends with the owner of Mrs. Beta, who is the owner of Flay.
Oh, Flay.
So Fran had come to Ghana and was trying to learn how to cook like Ghanaian food for her husband, who is who is Ghanaian. She's actually in Ghana currently. I'm meeting her next week. So a friend had come to Ghana, and she went to this cooking school, had become best friends with the owner of the cooking school, and they decided that let's document. So they documented and they wrote a book. So Fran and Mrs. Bater's book is it's not the first Ghanaian cooking book, but it's the first Ghanaian cooking book with worldwide recognition. The book is still selling at this time. So I came across Fran's website, and I was like, what is this? Do people just go and cook and just document it? It was so fascinating. Like I was because even at that time, like planning strategies for your clients, we started using radio presenters, TV presenters as influencers. That time we weren't calling them influencers. We were just calling them because they had access to TV and radio and stuff. So we have started using these people, but we didn't have like anybody in the food industry. Like if I was doing a strategy for Maggie, I didn't know who to call. I will call Kwame Sifakai or maybe just a woman because women cook, And I'd come across this thing and I was like, like what's a food blogger? What's that? And then I kept on researching and I was like, nah, this is interesting. So I was like, no. But if a white woman is documenting, I'm gonna document. I had no idea of what to do. I opened a WordPress.
Wow.
So I opened a WordPress, and before I opened the WordPress, I'd reach out to one of my friends, Amma, who is also like very interested in cooking. I said, hey, why don't we like put together? And she used to live in Canada. So I was like, why don't we like put together a blog and write stuff? And she said, oh, okay, that sounds nice. I said, let's be called Mukasi Chicks. That was the first name. She said, okay, cool. So because we were two of us, and I wanted something that would just like make people ask me, what's Mukasi? I really wanted a conversation starter name. So I was like, let's be called Mukasi Chicks. And she said, okay. So I said, okay, let's do it. And I waited for Amma for like months, and Amma never got back to me. Like she just went off. I don't know where she went to. And I was like, okay, if I have to do it alone, I can't do the chicks. So I have to do chick. And I didn't want to do chick as well. So I said, let me make it. And I made it chic. Like I felt like I was chic at that moment. So I made it Mukasi chic. And Mukasi, obviously, from Koforidua. So Mukasi means kitchen in the Tree language. Yes, it's an Akan word. Yeah, it's an Akan word that means kitchen. So that's how everybody thinks it's not. It's exotic. A local name. It's no. It's very Ghanaian, very very Ghanaian, an Akan word. If you go to even Kumasi and Koforidua, where I come from, it's very common. Mukasi.
So that's how embarrassed that I've lived in Kumasi for almost 16 years, and I don't know that this is how they call kitchen.
It's the same as Jade. So like a lot of people, it's just interchange. Yeah, it's just interchange. But Mukasi basically means kitchen. So yeah, that's
it's nice. It's not, and it sort of suits your personality. I can't get over this show. So when we were at the Mandela Washington, the final, what's it called? The summit.
Yeah.
What you did. I thought, I remember the guy carrying you. Like, you are actually a theater person, right?
I am, yes.
Oh, that thing was so good. I wonder if it's on YouTube. Do you think it's part of, because I know they
did put it on YouTube.
Yeah, it was really good. And the guy just went, hey! It was so exciting. Oh my gosh. Beautiful memories. Yeah. So I think so you are just an artist by nature, because you are great on stage, you are great with the food. The day we didn't get some of the food to buy, I wanted to taste it so bad. I bought stew and egg. I was like, I can't come all the way and not taste. So I bought and it was really worth it. So I look forward to you coming to Kumasi and then giving us a food show.
Yeah. So we are currently in talks with also another NGO called The Good Tree. The Good Tree is basically in Teshi, and they have a place where the girl child goes to learn, reading, period, all those things that girls should know. And we are currently in discussion with them to have a cooking class for them once every quarter. I as much as I want to teach them how to cook, I just want to tickle their interest in cooking, because some of them may really be interested in it. And I want them to know that if you want to cook, you will not just end up as any person who is going to cook. You
like
could
it's a big
really end
deal.
up bigger. Yeah, it's a big deal, and you could really end up as big as whoever you think works at the bank or works at wherever it is. So I really love to work with young people. I think they are more experimental than those before us. We are still millennial Gen Z. They are more experimental, so they are, ready to take fly with ideas. And by the time we retire, they will be the next generation. So yeah, I really, really like working with young people. Yeah.
Oh wow, fantastic! So I'm hereby going to be inviting the Fab Youth Campus. Jay, you've been a blessing. Just talking with you. Do you know the multiple goosebumps I've had from memories
Oh,
fellowship to Twitter CEO? It was as if I was there with you. Hey, I've pictured the man tasting your food. Hey, this is wonderful. I mean, you've been a blessing, and I just want to say again, thank you so much for saying yes to us. I think that the way things are pulling together for this IFAM, it's as if God is just orchestrating everything. Some of the things I don't understand. So me, I just want to chill and enjoy as God is blessing me with all these wonderful people who are willing to just come and be a blessing to us. So thank you. But before I let you go, I have a few questions. It's short questions that I'll ask, and then you have. So I start the sentence, and then you finish with a short phrase.
Okay.
Okay. So there are two. The first one is, if I could advise my younger self in one short sentence, I would say,
trust in God for everything. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. I am fabulous because.
That's so funny. I don't even know what to say. But I think I'm fabulous because I'm a woman and I'm a child of God. That's it. Nothing really.
Yeah. That's it. And then finally, one book that has greatly helped me in business is.
Wow. It will not be a book.
Okay.
It will not be a business book. It would be my conversations with other people. It would really be my conversations with other business people. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. And the last.
Yes,
Before,
please.
okay, actually, last two questions.
Okay.
First of all, how do we find you? Anyone listening and thinking, oh, I really need to meet this lady. I want to know more. Where do they find you?
Oh, I think it's very easy to find me. I'm there on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
As
The same name, Mukasi Chick.
you use Mukasi
Same
Chick.
Mukasi Chick. Yeah, once you type in Mukasi Chick, you can find me. Where else? Yeah, Facebook as well. Same name.
So yes, I meant to ask about the CSC. How do people get to be part of the project?
So currently we are building our first culinary center, and we will, each cohort will be 10 women. And because this is will be a subsidized or a free class, because people are interested in paying for the classes for the women, and we would put out a call to action when it comes to like calling women to be part of these cohorts. But we will also do a background, how do I say it? We'll do a background check on who these women are. So once we put the call to action out, if you know anybody who lives in your community or someone that you work with that you think has interest in food but needs a little training, you can just nominate the person. We will contact them ourselves. We'll do all that needs to be done, and we'll make sure that they come for the training. Basically.
And how long is the training?
So we have 1 month and 2 months training. We are currently starting with baking. So we are crossing, from spring rolls, samosas, pancakes, cakes, the chips, whatnot, all those things. And we have the 1 month curriculum and the 2 month curriculum. And once you come there, all the ingredients are available to you. We have all the equipment as well. You can just come into the center, do what you have to do, and then
Okay, so this is based in Accra, yes?
Yes, it's currently based in Accra at Rich Junction in Medina.
Okay.
That's where it's based. Okay. Hopefully in the future, when we're able to gather more grants, we would extend into places like Kumasi and Koforidua.
And Koforidua, yes, your place of thank you. Well done for this that you're doing. You're not just minding your own business, but helping others because you've seen the opportunities. You have been all over due to what you're doing, and you see that there are opportunities for other Ghanaians, and you're bringing us along. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I'm really humbled, and I know that we haven't seen each other a lot since we finished the fellowship, but I respect all that you do. I think you're doing amazingly well. Having to do this constantly and every year. I know how it is to put together something every year. So without any form of support or sponsorship, even if it's sponsorship, it will never cover all the things that you put in. So I really respect what you do, and I hope that this continues to grow from time to time. And I also appreciate you recommending me for OC as well. It's like I was really blown away by that. Not yet. It comes out in April. So once it comes out, you'll be the first to know. But just having the opportunity to even apply for it, because it's not everybody who shares opportunities with each other. So just being able to have access to you guys is a blessing to me. So I really appreciate it.
Fab Hub Ashanti, a haven nestled at the tip of Kumasi, where fresh air meets serenity. Fab Hub Ashanti is a residential learning and event space perfect for your corporate training, staff retreat, group hangouts, and wedding receptions. With 4 rooms and 15 beds, you and your group can sleep comfortably. What makes us special? Fab Hub Ashanti is not just a space, it's a commitment. By choosing us, you support community projects empowering women and youth. Join us at Fab Hub Ashanti off Aful Junction, Abuabukesi, Kumasi. Fab Hub Ashanti, here we grow.
Oh my goodness, was that amazeballs or what? I had so much fun, like just interviewing Jay today. The goosebumps came obviously multiple times, but I also enjoyed it. I feel so light, and it's so nice to know that there are opportunities for us in things that sometimes we take for granted, like cooking. We think, oh, it's not a big deal. It's a huge deal. And as I was interviewing her, I was thinking of another friend who is doing amazingly well in the space. There are so many opportunities. These things that, I used to be in the hospitality industry, and it's true what Jay said. A lot of people come in thinking, oh, let me just do this by the way while I find something better. They don't know that in that food industry is something amazing. So I'm so happy and excited and grateful for people like Jay who are exposing us to what is possible. And this project she's doing, oh my goodness, that's amazing. So please look out for it. Follow her on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you get access to such content. Follow her and look out for the ad when she does the CSC project, and recommend it to people. Like, I really wish I could even come to Accra and food, because God knows I need some food help. People like me, we just eat, but we really need to learn what goes into making food delicious, and not just delicious, but also the stories behind it, the why and all. I think it helps us appreciate things better. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I totally like it. This interview has made my afternoon. So thank you very much.
Mind Your Business is one of our free resources available on YouTube. And if you prefer to work with me one-on-one as your coach, as a consultant, or as a trainer, it starts with a discovery call. Head to amaduncan.com/store to book a discovery call with me.